Jim Schultz here for Calculated Risk, and don't forget, before we get started, the best ways you can help us are by liking the video or subscribing to the channel. Either one of those guys really helps us out a ton. So today we are going to talk about the oft-forgotten Greek Vega. I mean, delta gets all the press, right? Theta gets the spotlight. Gamma oftentimes sneaks into the discussion pretty frequently as well. But Vega, this is one of the Greeks that oftentimes gets forgotten. Oftentimes it gets left on the sidelines with absolutely no love. So I wanted to give it a little bit of love today for maybe only 3 or 4 minutes. And let's understand why the Vega for an at-the-money option is always the highest. There's actually a very simple, straightforward reason that I will be able to explain in no more than 11 minutes. And by no more, of course, I mean no less. So let's go ahead and let's get into it. So if you look across an option chain and you're looking at the Greeks, or really any market metric, you're going to see that it's always going to be different across the chain depending on the strike you're looking at, the out of the money, the in the money. There's going to be a lot of differences across all the market variables or all the market metrics that you might be analyzing. But specifically, if you look at the Greeks, like you know that delta is going to range from 0 to 100. It's going to be 0 for the furthest out of the money option. It's going to be 100 for the furthest in the money option, and then 50 for right around that at the money option. That goes down below 50 for out of the money and above 50 for in the money. When it comes to theta, you know that theta is going to be highest for the at the money option, and then it's going to fall off on both sides of the option chain, on the out of the money side and on the in the money side. Well, Vega is actually very similar to theta. It's going to be the highest for the at the money strike, and then it's going to fall off on both sides of the chain. It's going to fall off on the out of the money side, and it's going to fall off on the in the money side. And today I wanted to offer up the reason why that is the case, because it really only boils down to one thing and one thing only. Vega measures how sensitive your option is to changes in volatility. So when volatility changes, it's going to show you how is your option price going to change to reflect that change in volatility. Okay, well, that sensitivity to volatility, those changes in volatility and how they impact the option price, they are directly linked to the uncertainty that is inherent in that strike. And there is no more uncertainty across the entire option chain when it comes to the different strikes than the at the money strike. The at the money strike has the greatest amount of uncertainty. It's way more uncertain than an out of the money strike. It's way more uncertain than an in the money strike, because in a lot of ways, the moneyness status of an out of the money strike or an in the money strike, especially if you're deep out of the money or deep in the money, that's kind of cemented down in stone. Of course, markets move and things change and things could get crazy and what have you, but it's going to take a major move for the status of that option to flip, to change, and cause drastic changes to both the buyer of the option contract and the seller of the option contract. But think about an at the money option. It's on the razor's edge. I mean, it's right there. It could change, in the blink of an eye. It could change by just a couple of ticks this way or a couple of ticks that way. And so the Vega in that option is capturing that increased uncertainty. And that is why you see the highest Vega for the at the money strike. Because a change in implied volatility, even a small change in implied volatility, could drastically impact the status, the money in the status of that strike. And so that is why, or at least one of the reasons why, or maybe the main reason why, well, for the purposes of this video, it's the only reason why, the at the money strike has the highest Vega. It all traces back to uncertainty. And remember, we also know that the at the money strike has the greatest amount of extrinsic value. So again, if you look at a chain, it falls off on the out of the money side, it falls off on the in the money side. The at the money strike has the most extrinsic value. Why is that the case? Because again, it has the most uncertainty, right? It's almost like all this stuff is connected by math. It's almost like all this stuff just shares, this common set of quantitative principles. And if you understand things like uncertainty and you understand things like sensitivity, it can all start to make a little bit more sense. So let's hop into Tasty Trade now and let's really cement this guy down. Okay, so here I am inside of my Tasty Trade platform. I've got Amazon pulled up. If I go to the trade page and if I were to look at the August cycle, so you're going to notice you've got Amazon right at about 254. So the at the money strike is going to be about the 255. Right? It's not going to be perfect because it's not exactly at the money strike, but that's going to be close enough for our purposes here. So if I change my drop-down variables from delta and extrinsic value to, let's say, Vega and extrinsic value, Vega's right up there, you're going to see that the highest Vegas Now, we're only going to the 100th decimal point, so we're not going to get it to the 1,000th decimal point or a surgical level of precision. But you can see the highest Vega is right there clustered around the at-the-money strike. And why is that? Well, again, it's got the greatest amount of uncertainty across the option chain in that at-the-money strike. So you see the highest level of extrinsic value. Same thing on the call side, right? You see the highest Vegas all being clustered around the at-the-money strike. If we did go out, to the highest level of precision, we would see that the 255 strike has the highest Vega. Well, it has the greatest extrinsic value. Now, this relationship is not going to matter whether you're looking at, a 37-day cycle or a shorter term cycle. Like if I go to Amazon and I minimize August and I go to, let's just do like a 7-day cycle, you're going to see the exact same relationship unfold. So if I look at a 255 strike, you can see highest Vegas all clustered there, highest extrinsic value right there. If I go to the other side, highest Vegas all clustered there, it drops off on both sides. You can see it drops off there, it drops off there, and I have my highest extrinsic value right there. So the same relationship. And if I went to a different stock entirely, let's go to like a market index. We'll go to, shout out to my boomers out there. Let's go to the DIA index. If I go to the September cycle, you boomers like your long-term plays. So let's go to September. You've got DIA at 525, almost 526. You're going to see the exact same relationship unfold here as well. Here is my 525 strike. You can see my Vega is the highest for the 525 strike. So this is kind of nice because we don't have a clustering. We actually have a clear leader in the clubhouse at the 525 strike. It also has the highest extrinsic value. You can see again, it drops off on both sides of the chain. You can see it drops off there, drops off there. And then I go to the other side, you see highest Vega, highest extrinsic value, drops off, drops off, drops off, and drops off. And again, the reason why this is the case, it all comes back to uncertainty. That 525 strike in the diamonds, or that 255 strike in Amazon, or whatever the after-money strike might be for whatever stock you're looking at, it has the greatest amount of uncertainty. It's a lot more uncertain than, let's say this 465 strike. This 465 strike, it's essentially cemented in stone. Like when it comes to being out of the money on the put side or in the money on the call side, again, a lot can happen over the course of the next 65 days, but a lot would have to happen for the moneyness status of this 465 strike to change really at all. Now, the degree of moneyness is, of course, going to change as the market moves and things change. But to get this guy to flip where the put is no longer out of the money, but it's in the money, the DIA would have to be below 465. To get the call to flip to where the 465 is no longer in the money, but it's out of the money, the DIA index would have to be below 465. Again, could it happen? Of course it could happen. But is it likely to happen? It's not very likely to happen. And so again, when we think about uncertainty and we think about risk, it's all going to be at its maximum point when it comes to that at-the-money strike. So Greek analysis is something we do every single day. I mean, deltas and thetas and gammas and also Vegas, when we remember and think about Vega and not necessarily forget that it's on the sideline, and it matters too. When we think about a chain and we think about the risk and the uncertainty at that at-the-money strike, it actually makes perfect sense that that strike would always carry the highest Vega because it has the greatest uncertainty, and so the sensitivity to volatility should be the highest. I hope this helps, and I'll see you guys in the next video.